Hi there, Aquarius. You guys are doing well and having a great January. Here is your mid-month January reading. We'll cover roughly the middle portion and latter half of the month. Okay, so we're going to be doing the Celtic Cross today. You're going to have your deep past card right here, followed by your recent past, current position, advice card, near future, hopes and or fears, and finally at the very tail end here, the final outcome. We're going to be crowning the reading with 3 cards, the first being the energy that helped lead you to your current state. After that, the environmental energies kind of at bay as you move forward through the month. Following that is going to be the sort of energetic pathway that you're moving into as we move forward in the month. Okay, so let us shuffle just a tad bit more, although I feel you guys are fairly ready. There's not a lot of entangling sort of energy. This feels fairly straightforward. Okay. Deep past, current state, deep past, recent past, current state, advice card, near future, hopes and or fears, final outcome, the energy you stepped into that helped lead you to your current state, the environmental energies, and the sort of energetic pathway that you're moving towards, okay? And flipping the deck over, we have the theme of the reading. Which is the 2 of Wands, overlaying Temperance in reverse and the 4 of Cups. Okay, so let's take a look here at the elements at play. We have 5 major arcana, including Temperance. So you have the Fool, the Lovers, the Chariot, the Tower, okay? Coming in from your past especially, and in your environment position, okay? But I'm sensing a sort of lightheartedness, right? From which you're moving in from your past, okay? In the deep past, you have the Fool, okay, which is just the very beginning of this sort of transformation of one's character, right? In the macro sense of how you're progressing. In your deep past, you had sort of the new foray into this transitional new phase in your life, okay? Now, aside from that though, right? Well, I will say this. These 2 colors are just the brightest really in the deck, right? The lightest, the feeling of just absolute youth and enjoyment, open-mindedness, right? Adventure, okay? This baby chick is just a little chick, right? Starting out, opening his eyes to the world, or her eyes to the world, and embarking on the new path ahead of him, okay? So And they're all birds, right? 2 swans or doves and 1 little bird. So there's a sense of flight, a feeling of flight, feeling new in some sort of situation, feeling young and youthful in some sort of situation. Okay, but leading into the Lovers in reverse, right? There could be sort of an aspect of elemental of emotional dependence on another person, or joining up with another person in some fashion that would otherwise emotionally satisfy you, which hasn't or didn't fully manifest in the way that perhaps you were hoping. Okay? So you started out down a path with very fresh eyes, right? Taking a leap of faith. But perhaps, right? Let me tune in. See, this card has 2 birds on it. This card has just 1. This is like the hatchling, right? And I'm almost feeling going from a 0 to a Lovers, right? From 1 to 2 rather quickly, right? This is just the very first major arcana in the deck. This is the 6th major arcana in the deck, right? So there's this hope for a maturation, and a quick one at that, that perhaps didn't manifest in the way you expected. And perhaps, right, the journey is still being emphasized on your individual growth in that scenario. Okay, rather than flying off with someone else or something else, or a dependence, right, an emotional dependence on something or someone that's not tied to sort of this the singularity, right, of character. So it's really, I think, about forging your identity as an individual, tempering your maturity as you move forward, okay? Rather than perhaps distracting it with this Lover's energy, with this even teaming up with someone else that might overshadow your personal growth in a tempered, grounded way, in a natural way even, okay? So that's just the first 2 cards from your past. No, let's take a look at the other elements here at play. You have another major arcana here. You have 2 swords cards, 2 water cards, paired, overlaid right above one another. 1 wands card, and another if you're considering this 2 of wands above the deck. And actually, you also have this 4 of cups. Okay, so sort of 3 references to the water element. Another major arcana, and 1 pentacles card. Okay. So I'm sensing, right, going back to this, there's a focus on the development of your character, okay? Entering, forging your way upon this new path, something maybe with which you felt was somewhat unfamiliar to you, right? And so with this 2 of wands in reverse, overlaying temperance in reverse, and overlaying the Four of Cups, there is a sort of patience, hope, and faith, okay, that needs to be had. And perhaps beneath this is the storing of emotions, okay? In a way, even let's get to the rest of the energies before we delve into these. So, in your current state, you have the Chariot in reverse. Okay, there's a lot of energy where I'm sensing you want to make great leaps and bounds forward in the development of your identity, even. Okay? And it is being made, definitely so. But perhaps in the sense of not yet being able to express it in the way that you would like, in a way that's natural for you. Okay, and the energy that led into the Chariot is the Nine of Swords in reverse. So there's definitely a letting go of the analytical rumination, right? There's this contrast between the stark black and white sort of color tone with sharp images of the sword or even the wands to some extent, right? And this transgression into a more innocent, pure, hopeful, optimistic, right? Also speaking to the Temperance card. Colorful. Movement forward, okay? It's the putting down of the swords. It's the doing away with this approach, right? The overly analytical approach. And taking one that is more open-minded and one that's perhaps even more based on feeling or intuition, definitely so. You have the moon, the figurine of the moon on the forehead of this horse, speaking to the charging forward in a way that is very much guided and driven by your intuition, okay? So, and you have the moon here as well. And on the Four of Cups, you have the moon. So there's this element of, in a way, being guided along the process, right? Having even a feeling like a hunch, right? Knowing the path that you're moving along, okay? But perhaps not yet being ready to fly, okay? And forge that truly expressive, more matured forging ahead on a very clear and marked path, okay? Now, in your near future, actually as your advice position, wait, let me see if we are recording. Great, okay. For your advice, it's the 10 of Wands in reverse. 10 speaking to culmination, okay? So, it seems that there is a wind up, or rather a wind down of these sort of more serious toned approaches, okay, and focus, right? It's a new cycle. There's so much color here, right? There's the opportunity to really redefine this path and really also redefine who you are, right? where you want to go, what is going to truly emotionally fulfill you. This is a theme that a lot of signs seem to be getting, especially Taurus and Aries, I believe. Okay, so there's this element of uncovering, discovering the elements of ourselves, the aspects of our being, right, and the truth, really the truth. Okay, taking a more intuitive approach, one that is not guided by the intellectual mind, and over analysis, right, per se, one that's not entirely composed of just brute effort, right, one that is fresh, one that is new, with a new sort of perspective towards how to move forward. Okay, with greater emphasis on the emotional aspects, the emotionally fulfilling aspects, right, of what nurtures our soul or our being, right? However you subscribe to those beliefs. So really, right, the Ten of Wands in reverse, I believe, is speaking to the doing away, much alike the Nine of Swords, the doing away with sort of monotonous, past, old ways of accomplishing whatever it is that you want to bring about and manifest. Okay? In your near future, you have the Daughter of Cups, again alluding to this water energy, this emotional, the tapping into the emotional side of this journey. The Daughter of Cups is stepping forward on a new path and on a new journey. It's the very beginning, the Daughter of Cups, right? So it's this kind of early embarking on the emotional path, just setting out. Okay? Speaking, I believe, to the youthfulness of this Fool card as well. Okay? So there's a fine-tuning, right, of how this energy is manifesting, how this change is taking place, this transformation of your character. You're now taking a finer look at the emotionally fulfilling aspects of the work you do, or even how you conduct yourself, what really makes you happy and fulfilled, okay? As the basis of everything else, okay? As the basis of your finances, as the basis of your passions and your drive, as the basis of your thinking, how you set your thoughts to work in a way, right, for you. Now, this Father of Wands was attached to this Nine of Cups, okay? So I will read them together here as your fears, okay? As your hopes or your fears. So this Nine of Cups and the Father of Wands in reverse are somewhat communicating to me a fear of, perhaps, much like this Chariot in reverse, the fear of striking out. The fear of striking out and the fear of being overwhelmed by this new emotional journey, perhaps, okay? This is sort of like the very quick accumulation of cups, right? It's almost a 10, okay? So we're going from a Daughter of Cups to a 9. We have a Four of Cups that's being stowed away here beneath Temperance in reverse. So there's this perhaps feeling, the Father of Wands upright is a very charismatic, leader-like, confident, driven and creative, enterprising character, right? But in reverse, there's a sense of perhaps feeling shy, right? Shying away from the prospect of building up this reservoir of emotional energy of cups, of tapping into intuition, okay? And so again, right, we have this horse, this chariot in reverse with the moon on his forehead. Perhaps this feeling of this journey is so new for me that I don't really know what to expect as my cups accumulate, as I dabble further in the emotional side of my being. Okay? Feeling perhaps that you're not ready to wield and to create even with these cups. Okay? Then in your final position, you have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay? And I'm seeing that sort of speaking to this Two of Wands in reverse, sort of funneling down to a point. Okay? This is speaking to me sort of as a decision that needs to be made, right? Coming to the finalization. And again, it's Wands energy, whereas this is Swords energy. So fire and air, thoughts and actions. So this Ace of Swords in reverse is sort of echoing the thought and the concept of the Father of Wands in reverse and the Chariot in reverse. Okay? This feeling of perhaps not being ready to present this sort of transformation of your being. This transformation of your character. Even if it's a latent fear, right? Or a subconscious fear, just a fear that you have in the back of your mind, right? Of not being able, not feeling comfortable really, okay? Not really about able, but comfortable with the wielding of this new beginning. And your ability to create something from it, right? There's this question of creation. What do I create, right? How do I manifest at this point? How will I be able to manifest at this point? I think your concern perhaps is with your ability to again, strike tall and really wield the power to create, to be the creator of your world, okay? So there's this question, right? This this feeling of not being ready yet, this lack of clarity, okay? So perhaps this is leading to a lack of temperance, okay? A feeling of perhaps losing hope in some aspect, right? Feeling like you're not seeing the way, okay? There's this sort of blocked energy, maybe even with this card, and they're speaking to each other. The color palette is very similar, okay? So there's a feeling perhaps of not having patience even, right? Feeling unsettled, okay, with how you are to temper this fire in the future, this passion, as it relates to this new transformation of your character and being, okay? And below temperance, you have the Four of Cups upright, sort of speaking to the result of this murky perception of how to move forward. And so the result is sort of the stowing of emotions, the not allowing all emotions to be expressed, to be let out. Okay, so there is perhaps a blockage of energy that's holding you back from really harnessing these energies. And even this energy, right? It's almost cyclical. These three cards sort of cycle together, right? It's like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Is it my confusion, or is it the fact that I am scared because I don't have an answer, in a way, right? I don't have the sort of clarity, so due to the fear of not having clarity, I am sort of covering up an aspect of myself to protect myself. Okay, which further leads to the murkiness, right? So to speak. And perhaps. So now moving up into the crowning energy, you have the Tower in reverse. And let's make sure we're still recording. Great. So you have the Tower in reverse. The Tower in reverse generally speaks to a shakeup of some sort, the doing away of a situation that no longer serves you, that is not to your benefit. And it seems that, right, this energy is portrayed in both the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Wands, right? Both in reverse. So let me tune in here. So some aspect of your environment, right, appears to be not yet conducive to the doing away with a certain aspect or element of this journey. Okay, and it could be the reason for this sort of pending energy, right? Pending energy, and pending energy here as well. Okay, or perhaps again, it's like the chicken or the egg. Is it the resistance that you might have to the full cycle and transformation, the openness to this full cycle and transformation, that right, the clinging on to security, even perhaps, that is holding your environment back from changing. Okay, so I'm getting that they're sort of correlated, interdependent even, okay? But there's a change that's not yet being manifested and coming about. There's even a sort of constipation, so to speak, to this breakdown of old structures and old ways. Now, right, and both of these two cards lead to the Tower. Okay? So, right, I'm sensing that these are all sort of related. Now, the Father of Pentacles is also in reverse, and this is in your energetic pathway. Okay, so you have the Father of Pentacles and you have the Father of Wands, both in reverse, almost exactly atop each other. So there's a feeling of groundedness, perhaps. The Father of Pentacles, upright, generally speaks to ultimate security, right? The fruition, the culmination of efforts, success, worldly success, right? One that really establishes a sense of groundedness and firm stability in our lives. Okay, it's the earth element, but it's upside down, and it's looking over at this tower, right? That's also upside down. So again, pending energy, right? the need to feel secure in a way is dependent on the falling out of whatever it is that no longer works for you, that no longer serves you, that is a part of your past, that has no place in a way in this fresh new journey. Okay? So the irony of these two cards together like this is that your security, your sense of security, and even your place in the world in a way that appreciates your efforts and your exertment, right, is dependent on the destruction and the instability, the doing away with what inherently is and meant to be kind of a part of your past, okay? The doing away with that which ultimately will not contribute to your true stability, okay? So there is sort of this feeling of confusion perhaps with how to first proceed, right? Feeling a sort of mismatch of steps even, okay? A confusion, a feeling of feeling emotionally blocked even perhaps due to the fear of what will be if I do allow this energy to really flow through me, okay? Wanting stability, wanting harmony, but that harmony being dependent on the experiencing of and the doing away of destruction, of instability, getting to the root of what doesn't serve you and allowing that part to just fly and fall through. Okay? So, thank you so much, Aquarius, for tuning in. I hope this reading was helpful for you guys and insightful. Please do leave your comments below. I'm always curious to know how the readings resonate. So I will be back within the next week or so with your February reading. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys then. All right, Aquarius, have a great January, and I'll see you then. Bye.